The minimum FICO score is only a 500. Application only $300,000. Today's video, I'm gonna be sharing with you a lender that will approve you for up to $300,000 with either a term loan or a business line of credit. The great part of it is that there's no financial documentation required. So no tax returns, no profit and loss statement, no balance sheet. And most importantly, there's no impact to your personal credit. So this is one of the rare soft pull only business term loan and business lines of credit. We're talking about none other than BrightCap. Now, BrightCap is a direct lender, and they're actually backed by some large private equity money, which I'll get into that in just a second. But essentially, they offer two different products. They have the Bright line and they have the term loan. And so starting with the Bright line, so this is going to be a revolving, flexible line of credit. Now, one of the great things about the Bright line product is that you're not paying unnecessary interest on the credit line that you're not using. And that's a huge benefit, lines of credit versus term loans. With term loans, you're going to be paying interest and fees as soon as it originates. However, with a line of credit, you're only going to be paying interest on the amount of funds that you draw. So that's a huge benefit. And again, once you get approved, you can take what you need today and access more later. And as I mentioned, one of the key benefits is avoiding unnecessary debt, because if you take out a loan or like an MCA, you're going to need to know exactly what you're doing with that money immediately. Because as I mentioned, the clock already starts ticking as far as interest being accrued. But with the Brightline product, you're not paying anything until you draw down on it. Brightline is designed for real world businesses. You can access funding when needed so you can focus on running your business, not chasing paperwork. And I know how a lot of people do not like providing financial paperwork. So if that's you, this product right here is exactly what you need. Again, no impact to your credit score. So this is going to be soft pull only approvals. And the application process is streamlined. Now, during normal business hours, you can usually get an offer within a couple of hours. Now, the other product offered is a term loan. Now, the term loan and the line of credit have slightly different requirements. All right, so with the term loan, this is from a minimum of 6 months to 24 months and amounts up to $300,000. Now, with the term loan, you will need a minimum credit score of a 500, and you also need to be in business at least 2 years. Now, this is slightly different from the Brightline product, which has a higher underwriting. You have to be in business for at least 3 years, and you must have a 680 FICO. So the term loan product is definitely an easy approval. As far as revenue, you will need to have a minimum of $75,000 in annual revenue and a valid government issued identification card. And again, the minimum revenue is going to be the same for the term loan and the Brightline. The only difference between the two products is that with the term loan, that goes as low as 500 credit score. With the Brightline, you need a 680 credit score, and they're going to be soft pulling from experience, so your personal experience. And the minimum time in business for the Brightline is 3 years versus 2 years with the term loan. So there's slightly higher underwriting for the Brightline versus the term loan. And again, just to be clear, this will not impact your credit score, so there's no hard pull whatsoever. Now, a little bit about BrightCap. BrightCap is a direct lender, but they are part of a larger network of companies, and one of their affiliate companies is going to be the Northern Mill Equipment Finance Company, and they offer specifically equipment financing. And again, they're part of a larger network of portfolio companies for a private equity firm. Loans from $15K up to $5 million with terms out to 72 months. Their FICO scores go as low as a 550. They approve credit quality from A to C, multiple asset types, and application only up to $300,000. Now, at the top of the pyramid, you got Intervest Capital Partners. Now, this is private equity. Now, they focus on specialty finance with over 23 platform investments and over 13.9 billion with a B in originations per year and over 3,800 plus employees. Now, here's a list of some of the portfolio companies that they've invested in and provided capital for. So you got Triple Point Capital, again, Northern Mill Equipment Finance, you got Oxford Finance, and Foundation Finance Company. Now, just to recap, BrightCap offers two different products, a term loan and a line of credit up to $300,000 for the term loan, minimum FICO of a 500 on experience, soft pull only. For the Brightline, minimum of a 680 experience FICO, soft pull only. And for both products, you do have to have a minimum of $75,000 in annual revenue. So that's within a year. For the term loan, minimum 2 years time in business. For Brightline, 3 years time in business. Now, when you go through the underwriting process, it's very straightforward. You're just going to fill out some business information, and they have an integration with Plaid. So they're able to analyze your last 3 months of banking activity. And that's the primary way that they're underwriting you to see if you qualify. They do also have the option for you to upload your last 3 months of bank statements. And if you're applying earlier during a business day, you can usually get an offer that same day, and then the funds will be wired into your business checking account. Now, overall, this is an absolute game changer. BrightCap is backed by large private equity money. They're a direct lender, so there's plenty of funds to go around. If anyone's interested in applying, I've dropped a link in the description of the video. That's all for today. Until next time, take it easy, and we'll talk to you soon. Peace.